Very rakish. State of origin?
State of origin?
What?
What are you talking
Country of origin?
Country
You
of
mean
origin?
Oregon?
State of origin, like
Oregon
Ohio.
Trail?
Kentucky.
The
Kentucky.
state of Oregon?
I turned on my lights this time.
I was doing one of the.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wayward 7. My name's Will, forever DM as always. And we have another.
State of origin.
I'm doing my intro. And we have another exciting episode for you today. Is this a weatherman thing? Never mind. Anyway, so welcome back to the episode. I think this is 118.
Yep.
We're getting close to the end there as we get into Act 3, but I think don't quote me on this, but I am thinking Act 3 might be shorter than the other two, only because they've been popping off on their speed run. So we'll see what happens. But they're all taking notes. But let's switch over to the boys. Hey, fellas, what's up?
Good evening. Our top story tonight. Take it away, Evan. Why'd you subscribe? That's right. Today is National Hug a News Reporter Day. Bring it in, Evan. It's good to show support to your news reporters because they make sure that you don't miss out on what's going on. Hey, Evan, what's another great way to make sure you don't miss out on what's going on?
Like the video!
Okay, Jack, what's a great way to make sure you don't miss out on what's going on?
Ring the bell.
That's right. If you subscribe to this channel and ring the bell, you'll never miss out on any of the new content that we put out. Thank you. Now we have our, what's the word? On-location correspondence on the girls' side.
Thank you, Ethan.
Good awkward pause.
The weather out here is crappy, but you know what's not crappy? Our social media. Wait, we recommend you grab a coat, and then you also follow us at the Wayward 7 on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, the Weather Channel, and more.
It's like giving your news reporter a hug.
Back to you, Will.
Oh, wait, that's...
Sorry. Thanks for that report, Reagan.
Why do you go back?
We're having a few technical difficulties, but...
Ring the bell!
Alright, now to Will for sports.
I think that is all we have
Not
to
enough.
say today. And as we're looking down into the forecast, I think we're just going to go ahead and start this episode.
What do you have to do with sports?
Good answer.
Oh, the sports
Good
are
answer.
Eclipse. Shadows in the falling light, a fate eclipse pulling me tight. I'm reaching out but slipping away, can't keep the tide at bay. Running out of endless time, falling out of our storyline. Every heartbeat echoes loud in the dust left in the ground. Sun dips low and shadows creep, dreams we swore we tried to keep. But the night calls, pulls me close, through the dark I'm chasing ghosts. Fading eclipse, the final sign, running out of endless time. Running out of endless time, falling out of a storyline. Every heartbeat echoes loud in the dust left in the ground. Sun dips low and shadows creep, dreams we swore we tried to keep. But the night calls, pulls me close, through the dark I'm chasing ghosts. A fake eclipse, the final sign, running out of endless time. Torn between the dusk and dawn, fighting fate as night drags on. One last chance, I hold my breath against the clock, defying death. But the night calls, pulls me.
Cutting in, that's the worst thing to cut in on.
No.
Ethan,
Oh,
please, I beg you.
This just in. We have a recap from...
Thank you, Reagan.
William!
And we're back. We're live. So, last time we left off, the party. I can't control them. I can't do anything. It's tragic, and here we are. But last time we left off, as the show was called, the party traveled back to the Prime Realm thanks to Gilead, the altruistic and ever-giving newfound grunkle of Chris.
I know that now.
He does know that now. So, with that being said, the party then traveled to the states but colonies where they heard Calisti was hanging out. Upon reaching the island, though, after a brief discussion with the local guard, they were cornered and attacked by what appeared to be Praras, or at least a visage of her made of ice. The fight was short, it was sweet, and she had a few closing remarks, commenting on how excited she was for what is to come. But, that being said, the party then went to Calisti, down in the depths of a pirate cove hidden beneath the island. There they were guided in by Skippy. Some people got some money stolen, and they paid homage to the lord of the cave, as it were, the king of cats. From there, they traveled to Calisti's ship that was currently in disguise a mastless small boat. Upon entering the lower decks, though, they saw it was much larger and had a conversation with Calisti. There were some points to discuss, some arguments to be made, but in the end she refused to lend them their ship without need or proof of a greater purpose other than rescuing what she viewed as two homeless people from hell.
It's a good choice.
You know, I probably also wouldn't rescue two homeless people from hell. Just
So,
I would.
I know, that's why you got the heart of gold. But
you lost your.
unfortunately, Calisti is more of a practical mind, and with the conversation not leading much to where, the party asked if they could take a long rest on the boat after their fights, and so they are. As most of you are now passing out in the hammocks, Herb is taking lessons from Keysphere, mastering his time magic. Nestani, you're taking the first watch?
Yes.
Okay. You say that as if you want to say something else.
Can I turn to Keysphere and just? Can you?
Keysphere is in the middle of levitating an apple.
Can you just keep an eye out? I have to go speak with Calisti about something.
Sure. Herb, stop. Focus. Herb. Look.
I'm looking. I'm pulling up my.
So,
I'm looking.
as they continue their practice, Keysphere just kind of rotates slightly to get a wider view of the group, and hopefully they'll pay attention. But as you leave, you heading where?
To Calisti's quarters.
Okay. So it's been 10, 15, 20 minutes. Knock on the door.
I've got an idea. Yes,
Okay.
I do not know that.
Look through. Come in.
Hi.
You open it. There you see Calisti kind of has her feet kicked up on the desk. She has, several charts and maps in hand. You see Sasha, her first mate, and the only other sole survivor from your previous encounter with Calisti, is also in there, and she's kind of stitching something onto a large hat.
Sasha is?
Yeah, Sasha is, yeah. You look,
Yeah.
you kind of,
I wave at Sasha.
you wave and she kind of waves. You see she is basting hearts onto the side of the hat.
Oh, that's so cute.
So, Calisti kind of drops the feet, maps on the desk. Can I help you?
May I speak with you?
You may.
You said you wanted further evidence or proof as to why you should help us go to the hells.
Do you have some?
Yes, I do.
Take a seat. Shut the door. Sasha, go get John.
John?
So Sasha kind of puts the hat down and kind of walks out the room.
I believe I know the identity of the fiend that has been going rogue.
She kind of looks about a few minutes later, or a few kind of moments later. There's kind of a knock at the door. Madame, I'm here. And you kind of see a very large bugbear kind of push open the door.
Yes!
And this is John. He is our local mage.
I have to know. Is it spelled Jean? Jean?
And John.
Wait,
Come on.
Looks over.
Oui, madam. I'm here to cast these spells. You are...
I'm Nestani.
Pleasure. All mine. Kind of watch. Please do not resist any spells I am about to cast.
He kind of goes around, kind of watches little kind of sparks and throws some dust around the room. Not necessarily anything as magic as you've seen.
Ashes.
Is this actual magic?
Make an insight check.
It's fake.
17.
You know, he's kind of just taking small dust out of this patch and kind of throws it everywhere, and you kind of see Calisti is just, you know, watching with contempt.
I just kind of like.
But he goes by, does what he does. Calisti just kind of gives a nod. John, finally, at the very last thing, kind of takes out a silver thread and begins to just around the room before kind of
Poof. My work here is done. It has been a pleasure.
so.
Magic.
Are you choosing to fail any saves?
Yes, I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you fail a wisdom save.
Okay.
And I would say you've seen this spell before. It's been used on you. Zone of Truth has been put on the room.
So it's affecting Calisti as well.
It seems to. Yeah.
Okay. So it was legit magic.
There was definitely some magic in there. Was all of it magic? I don't know.
I feel like about half of that was performance, but
He's on the exaggerating, embellishing side.
I look around the room.
But
and
he's
I-
what
all
they
the-
had for hire.
I see all like the dust and glitter, probably.
There's glitter everywhere.
Oh no.
I can see. Anyway, yes, I believe I know the identity of the rogue fiend. I believe it to be Praras.
Praras
Yes.
is the fiend directly.
Yes.
She's not working with the fiend. She is the fiend.
She is the fiend.
How?
Okay. Pull out my notebook.
Sure.
Well,
Makes sense.
first of all, she has unnatural appearance. That's just might be cosmetic, but that's
She
beside
kicks
the
back
point.
in the seat and looks at you real hard. Miss Princess with floating crystals and,
I'm aware.
and
I'm aware.
opal hair.
But there was a pit fiend on her ship when we were up in Rockenfar, and referred to her as Lady Praras. Pit fiends do not respond to anybody below them as with any respect, really, unless it's someone above them, and archfiends are the only ones who are above them.
Well, what if it was just contracted?
Even in contract, they don't give, what's the word? Respect. I mean, take a look at Gwen and her fiend. I'm in the fence. Respect. I mean, she's
don't be nice
to me today. I mean, that's just an example of a contract where the fiend does not respect, just merely knows they have a contract with said person or thing.
So you're basing this entirely on the fact that the fiend responded to her with respect,
No, I'm not.
and that she looks weird.
No, I'm not. That was this. No, I'm not. I mean, Damon was also under her control. He was also a pit fiend. So that's at least 2 that she had under her thumb. Hold on, I wrote this a week ago. I'm trying to remember what everything I said, guys.
Charlie.
Give me a minute. Shut up.
While she's waiting.
Focus,
make sure
focus,
you-
apple.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
I mean,
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
she also is able to control others, command them to harm others, and she does that as if it's innate. It's not some sort of magic ability she has. It's happened to me and my party where we've been, told to, hurt, harm, or kill someone else. It's actively happening with Silas. He's not somebody who would hurt any of us. At least like that. I don't know your relationship with him, but I can tell that you know him well enough to know he wouldn't do that. And he did try to kill us. And that wasn't something he was trying to do. He was forced to do it, as if he was commanded to do it. Also, she's old.
She looks weird and she's old.
But she doesn't
That's a
look.
fair point.
She looks weird, she's old, and these Pippies respect her. So,
guys, I'm trying to be eloquent here.
Ageist.
So,
But she doesn't look old. I mean, I know that there's races that can live a long time. My father is a race that can live
I
a long
myself
time.
am no spring flower.
What I'm trying to say, Calisti, is that she was part of the rightful divine. She was a platinum hand. She's been in history books for a long time.
Platinum hand.
The rightful divine. Are you familiar with this group?
I'm not familiar, but I do recall seeing something about it down in Hells.
Oh yes, right. The manor that we are at. The rightful divine. They were. It happened on the continent of Vashon. The Ascension, the
War of the Ascension?
the War of the Ascension happened about 40 years ago.
I'm not there.
That was an Ethan fact check.
Oh.
That was not. It I'm trying to think the best way to explain this. Is a lot to explain in like a short amount of time.
Take your time. It's fine.
Yeah, we only have 5 minutes left. Sorry, guys.
Just started.
The
20-minute episode tonight, guys.
the architect wanted to create a utopia, and the rightful divine were the cult that followed him, and the platinum hand were his 5 most trusted saints, is what they were called. And Praras was one of them. She was the second in line of the saints. So she's lived a long enough time and been in far back enough history that she's been a part of that. She's been part of past history, and it does not look like, or has not been recorded that she has aged at all. She seems to be at least the age of. Did she make Kinhad? Calisti didn't make Kinhad. I'm trying to think, like. The Emperor of Mizumi, is he elven? He's an old elf? Okay. The Emperor, you know him to be an older elf, correct? You know he looks aged, because that's how elves are. Once if they reach a certain point in life, they look aged. She seems to be that age, if not older, and has no appearance change.
Glamour
Just
magic.
substance. Even if it wasn't glamour magic. How?
Well, I'm saying glamour magic is a very common thing to hide age or
Okay.
appearance.
Alright, aside from appearance, she's been in history long enough and has been, a figurehead for a long time. It's gained a lot of power. She doesn't seem afraid to die, as if she knows she can't die unless she can be killed in another plane, which is what happens with pit fiends and archfiends, because with Damon, also, that's another thing. How did he know to get on your ship?
Make a persuasion check.
No.
I don't believe I was there.
24.
I was leaving the city privately after the attempt.
So how would he have known? How would he have been able to get on the ship? Aren't the ships warded from things like that?
There's severe security.
Then how would he have gotten on?
Well, I suppose he'd have to know something. But you all teleported on, did you not?
We did. Yes.
I won't look. What are you whispering?
We had information from the devil. That's how.
Ah, yes, trustworthy source.
Well, that's the point, is that
We were given
similar source.
information, like infernal information. That's how.
From just any devil?
It was from Zone Devil, correct?
Devil.
Zibondia.
No, his
Salazar.
name is. Nope. Hold on. I got it.
Xandar.
It's Zalnix or something.
Oh wait, hang on.
Salazar
It's-
was this?
Seraphix.
Oh, I'm just so close.
What was it?
Seraphix.
Let's write that down.
Also,
So you're saying the information could have only come from the devil? Well, Damon was a devil, and if it was a bone devil, Damon would have been higher on the totem pole. Is it a pit fiend?
But Damon was a pit fiend on the run.
Because he was working with.
He was working up in the Prime Realm. He wasn't supposed to be in the Hells.
Or he was in the prime realm.
What gave you that notion?
We got that information from the. We got that information from the Bone Devil as well.
And you trust this Bone Devil? A devil?
We had a deal.
You making a deal with the devil?
I mean, can you trust a devil? Not fully.
You can
But-
trust a devil to look out for their own interests, and this devil's interest was to give us information about some of the issues that were going on in the Hells, including Damon and the fiend that he was serving.
Nestani says that, but
But that's
You're getting a little pushy over there.
Nicholas is talking in his sleep.
he's on
By
the
the
floor
way-
in the office.
Sleepwalks in.
Sleep walks in, says that whole thing, leaves.
Why would I mean? It's within their own interest because if they're to defeat, a pit fiend, defeat an arch fiend, they can climb the pole, the totem pole. That's what all fiends want, is more power, and that's what she wants, is more power.
So, you're telling me you think Praras is the Archfiend.
Yes,
What does she gain from being out here?
power.
Power.
Well, it was recorded in history that in the War of Ascension, right before the climax, the turning point of the fight, Praras was recorded to have just disappeared. If she had stayed, she would have known the turn of the tide was at that moment she left. And then moments after, the entire country of Statespa wiped off the map. What's the currency in the house?
If I remember correctly, soul coins.
And wouldn't there be a lot of souls to reap if an entire country was wiped off the map?
I suppose there would be. So she benefits from death. From warmongering.
Yes, and the entire point of her being up in Malcolmfall was, we saw visions of her destroying the entire city. Wouldn't that be a mirror to what happened 40 years ago?
Well, the city doesn't quite compare to a continent.
It doesn't quite compare, but it's sowing the seeds for more death to come and for more souls to be reaped. She gains power by being up here, by gaining the souls.
Well, if she was a part of the conflict of ascension that wiped out an entire country, what does she gain from sticking around here? Seems a bit of a downgrade.
Well, the War of Ascension ended with the architect being banished. Banished, right? Killed?
It is banished.
Yeah, banished. So, there's nothing really left. There's not a cult left to stay with there. And she already had standings here.
Well,
She really likes chaos. And she likes chaos.
the War of Ascension took place during the last great war on Coal Hall. How would she have been two places at once?
Oh, didn't?
Well, if she is an archfiend, then she would have been able to travel places fast. Wait, hold on, wait.
The last greater conflict, the War of Ascension, happened about 40 years ago. The last conflict where Egil held Praras ended not too long ago.
Well,
Oh, I'm not there.
we did fight a visage of her. A clone of her, in a sense. It was a exact image of her. It had the same abilities she had, but it wasn't Praras. She could have very well left one version of herself in one place and then been in somewhere else in the other. She also abandoned the war mid-battle in the War of Ascension. That's what's recorded in history, at least. So it might have been that back here, something happened to the clone she left behind, or vice versa.
I suppose the war didn't end but 20 years ago, but it started sometime before Conflict of Ascension. there was other fields that she would have been privy to.
Obviously, she plans ahead for everything. We even found records back down in the third layer in the Citadel that we were at. There was records of her planning for the future. So whatever's happening now is because something that she has been planning for a long time.
So you think...
I think she's trying to gain power to overthrow Asmodeus.
That's quite the claim.
That's what all Archfiends want. They want to overthrow so they can gain more power.
So,
She could even just be doing it for no reason but just because she's a sadist and has fun with torture. She obviously hunts and kills for sport. It's not, she just doesn't do it, because of reason. She does it for no reason at all. It could very well just be that, but obviously she has other plans. And if she is the Archfiend, which I believe she is, then it is because she's trying to gain power. So she can overthrow Glacia and then overthrow Asmodeus. Because if you recall, the Citadel, we only had the top half up in the third layer. The bottom half...
yeah, the bottom.
We had the bottom half up in the third layer, and the top half was down in the sixth layer. Glacia's layer. And the sixth layer is also where a rogue Archfiend is rumored to have been roaming about, or rumored to be from. Cross-checking my notes.
So, let's get the timeline. She's been there since the burning of the library. There are ancients. Aja has been there just as long. She fought in the wars since. You're saying that she had hand in the conflict of Ascension, and after that, she was a part of the war that followed.
She's gaining power while still remaining in the shadows, so she can be blameless and still gain power. For her, it won't really matter what side she's on as long as it's the winning side for her, which is just death. She's causing chaos here in our continent, in our countries, so she can gain more power by gaining more death, more souls. Obviously, whoever she's teaming up with is extremely powerful.
Who's she teaming up with?
Well, I mean, we know that she's teamed up with Kenzoku. And then there's this mysterious cloaked figure that we saw up in Kefar.
So, let me ask you this. What is your proof that Praras is not working for another, for the Archdevil? That she is her?
That she's not working for Glacia?
Or the Archdevil? Whichever one you're truly looking for. Granted, it does sound like there's an Archdevil in play here, but how can you be certain that Praras is the one? I mean, she would have to be able to hide that she is an Archdevil.
I mean, we've seen pet fiends, devils hide themselves to not look like they are fiendish in nature. At the masquerade ball back in Basilica, Damon appeared as a normal person up until when he wanted to reveal that he was in fact a pit fiend. And like you said, glamour magic. Obviously she's a very cunning and smart creature, whatever she is. Whether she's the Archfiend or not, she's clever. She's cunning. She's been planning for this for a long time. Also, I mean, the horns that she has, they could be her, Archfiend horns, and has just decided to make that part of who she is. That way no one questions it.
As a
Part
taunt?
of, I don't know, part of a taunt. But like you said, glamour magic does exist. She could disguise herself to not look fiendish.
Alright, let's say she is the Archfiend. So, she's been here to collect souls, to bolster her power, to take over one of the layers of hell. And being an Archfiend, you could do that, assuming you get the right power behind. You think she could do this all on her own, with her and a pit fiend, or two?
I think she's doing it with Kenzoku and this third mysterious figure that we came across, who may also be fiendish, but is also tied with the Kefar. When we were fighting up in Arxar, there was 3 major groups that were fighting together, and it was fiends, undead, and constructs. She's working with Kenzoku, he deals with the constructs. She deals with the fiends because there was in fact a pit fiend on her ship, and the ships were infernal in nature. And then, of course, the undead is with the Kefar. She's working with others.
Well, you certainly seem convinced of this.
Oh, I'm not lying.
We're in the zone of truth. I wouldn't tell a lie to you. And this isn't me being selfish to try and get, Chris's dad back or Silas back.
Where's my dad?
This is.
Hear me sobbing.
Yes.
I didn't even get to meet my uncle. He just
I
died.
want you to
My
consider
cool
something. So let's say you're right, that I fully believe you, and I don't. But let's say I do. The implications of that are drastic. We dealt with Damon. And Damon was a bit of a, forgive my wording, bitch to deal with.
Yes, I was about to say the same words.
May I approach the bench?
No. Go wake up. We'll see if Peacefair wakes up anybody for second watch. Who normally takes second watch?
The person who also only has to sleep for 4 hours.
Yeah? Or you?
Her.
Okay.
It's that one.
There's kind of a bonk. Wakey wakey.
Hi.
Take next watch.
Okay.
We're going to go practice in the lower duck.
Lower duck.
Deck.
I walk down to
You
the
say
lower
duck really weird.
Looks like a duck. Sounds like a duck.
So, let's say when you wake up,
Yeah.
Nestani's not there. Keyspear, her relieving.
Not that she cares, because she doesn't know who I am.
That weird girl's gone.
Finally!
He's always
My
been here.
stuff is safe.
Yeah.
Finally!
Yeah.
Check my stuff. My gold's gone. She took my gold!
Your backpack's gone.
No, I had
Look
it
over
under
to the
my
side,
shield.
it's on the other
No.
side.
Okay, I was gonna say I made sure I had it under my fiery shield.
I know.
Okay,
So, alright.
I'm gonna wander around.
You just gonna leave him?
Oh, well, it's just Icarus, right?
It's Icarus and Chris.
It's watch. You're supposed to be watching
No,
us.
I
Oh,
know.
duh.
I mean, I'm gonna like stand out the door of the.
So the barracks are a large room.
Mhm.
Like it's a whole floor of the ship, just about. So
Yeah.
by the door means you're gonna go like walk away.
No,
Yeah, just want to clarify.
just gonna sit in the hammock and swing.
Okay.
Kick her
Kicking your
heel.
feet.
All right. When I get back to you, roll a perception check.
Okay.
All right. So the implications of it would be drastic, seeing as how Damon had to be killed twice. Once on land, twice in the hells where he spawned.
Which is also more, just another point to my theory is that she doesn't seem afraid to die. Even when she was on the brink of death, every time we fought her, she just would grin at us as if she knew something we didn't, and knew that she couldn't be killed unless we were to go to her spawning point, the 6th layer, and kill her there. It didn't matter to her. Also, we recently went to, what's the name of the plane that we just went to?
Wayward.
No, not the Feywilds one. The
Bronx.
The Bronx. We went to the Bronx.
We went to the Bronx.
We recently visited the Library of All Knowledge. Correct? Yes. And
Bronx. Right. In the Bronx.
she was banned from the library there To be banned from the library there, you have to be fiendish in nature, infernal in nature. That's just another something to throw on there. I don't know if that matters or not, but
Well, telling you that she's banned from a library does boast her confidence.
I know.
Banned from a library.
I don't know, Chris. How do you get banned from the library?
I don't know.
And I know it's hard to believe me, especially when we came to you and just asked to use your ship. And the only reason we had before was just to save our friends. I know. But I just ask that you think through it. And obviously it means much bigger implications if this is who she actually is. But I mean, she was involved with the War of Ascension in another continent. She starts wars here with the assassination of King Egil. She sows chaos and destruction everywhere she goes.
You saw her kill Egil?
Yes, I did.
So, why do you think... Do you know where she's based in the Hells, then? Do you know where she'll spawn? Where she returns to?
The sixth layer.
Where in the sixth layer? It's a plane, like all others, is near infinite.
When scrying on Silas, we found the location of the top half of the Citadel. It's a floating palace.
And what makes you think that she has your friends, your homeless people?
You know him, you can call him, but
We
you
like
know
to
it's
call him
Silas, you know
unhomed.
who it is.
The question stands.
Why does she, or like,
How do you know she captured them?
because we witnessed her capture Azoras, or not we, but Chris and her and Badissa witnessed that From my knowledge, as I was not there for this, is what they were retelling me. When they were sent down the hills to where we were in the third layer, right beforehand, they were in a barn outside of Basilica, and Azoras, who was also captured down there, was, sending them down, and then the barn opened and Praras was there, and that's the last time they saw Azoras. Next thing we know, when scrying on him, trying to locate him, he's down in the hills in prison, and Silas is there too. And then once scrying again, literally a few days ago, if not last night, yesterday, whatever, they were once again on the sixth layer in this floating palace. The last known location that Azoras was in, Praras was there and was the one to fight him. And we also know that Silas's soul coin was... Oriah was the one who had it initially, and told me that she sold it to someone else. And next thing we know, he's working with Damon. He's at the Citadel. She also just has these supernatural powers that aren't magic related. She has a breath weapon, which is not something that seems like she would have.
Well, you can do that, can't you?
Yes, but I'm half dragon.
I could do it too.
What if she's half dragon?
She does not look half dragon to me.
What if she has horns?
We also
They're
said
not
she'd have
dragon horns. It has to be like a magical ability to do that, or be a natural born ability to do that.
Alright. You've given me a lot to think about. You think Praras is an archfiend that is helping another entity?
Helping for her own gain as well.
Well, I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I have not seen much of what you speak of with my own eyes, but I know that you're telling the truth. And it goes against my nature to believe without visual or
I mean, the
damning evidence.
The proof that you saw was down at the Citadel. That wasn't Damon's. He was on the run. It couldn't have been his. He couldn't have accumulated all of that because he wasn't allowed in the Hells because he was on the run. Ice devils. They were hers. There was ice devils there. There was heads of dragons and other beasts. Obviously, she hunts for sport. All of the rightful divine and platinum hand memorabilia, all of that.
That is a pretty strong link. I don't think it takes off the idea that she's working for the Archdevil.
But if we
But-
take her out, we take out maybe their strongest pawn. Regardless,
Damn.
and excuse my wording, she's a bitch that needs to be taken care of.
Well,
In a ditch.
It comes back. It's full circle, baby.
Heyo.
There's someone out there who knows.
all right. Tell you
I
what,
sure don't.
I believe you.
It's
I
not
believe that
me.
you believe it. And we don't have as much of a lead as that as anything else right now. So, unfortunately, that does mean some grave things, such as assuming Praras is the entity you're looking for. She's not in the Hells. You cannot kill her unless you go to the Hells to kill her. But you have to send her there or lure her there. Go fetch the rest of your group. Let's discuss this with the rest of your team. As this is a bit more...
All of our ears were against the door.
Chris pew, falls through.
What?
Regardless of what...
Crits.
Well, this is your office?
Do you guys want to be on the other side?
Yeah, actually,
Really?
that's so funny. Regardless...
You watch as your three friends topple down.
Friends.
Yeah.
Hey. Regardless of what happens
It's a friend.
next... What?
They've all followed through the door.
What? This
Are you
is
listening?
yours.
It's not episode 900 where
It
my
wasn't
joke gets
soundproof.
taken.
It was just scrying proof.
Is that episode 118?
Herb, did you want to be with the group listening in?
I'm still learning.
Yeah. You were learning to pick up
Yeah,
goats.
hers blocked.
This isn't the cafeteria.
Learning to pick up goats and hold them in time.
Good.
This isn't the cafeteria.
Where'd that goat go?
Were you listening the whole time?
No,
It was
like
Chris's
halfway
idea.
Chris,
through. It was Gwen's idea.
Gwen,
It was not my idea. I just
Why did you
noticed
not
you were
bring us along
missing,
to
and
begin with?
I tried to find you.
We were all asleep. She woke us up.
She's in the zone of truth, isn't she? It's partially the truth. I mean, I did notice you were gone.
You think I
A
woke up?
little confetti appears above Gwen's head. Liar.
That's not a lie. I did notice she was gone.
You said something though.
Deceiver.
Backstabber.
partial truth is still a
Dummy.
lie.
Yeah.
Why did you not?
omission.
Yeah. Why?
Why did you not bring us along to begin with?
Yeah.
You were asleep, and I didn't know if it would...
I'm using bad FOMO right now.
Right, how long were you all listening?
We just heard up until the maybe we're gonna go to hell.
Is there confetti in there?
What? You asked us. What did we?
I don't know.
I probably
It's
would have been the last one to the door.
Yeah.
Probably.
You can't ask me what I heard and then say I'm lying.
We'll just believe you.
I don't believe you. DM doesn't believe you.
Whatever Dean says.
What would we have heard?
Make a perception check. How soon were you to leave your post? I mean, you're pretty eager to do it.
Eager to leave.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah.
Come back, your stuff's gone.
No! Oh, I get advantage because it's with hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I reckon I would have been the last
25.
one. There.
25. Yeah, as soon as you woke up, you sat down, swinging, kicking legs. Can't take it anymore.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Easier to wake everybody up than let them get their stuff stolen, maybe.
Yeah, I woke them up and went.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. So wait, so how much did I hear?
Oh, you've been there for at least half the conversation.
Cool. So I was lying.
Whoa.
Get the confetti out of here.
So,
So,
Okay.
so,
Well,
How much did you hear then, Chris?
I kind of got woken up immediately after, and
I'm holding up cue
I
cards.
heard a bunch of names that I don't know.
I don't know.
Someone named Praras Garvey.
Who's Praras? I didn't hear nothing. Just
You sound like
alright,
Woody.
lay off the boy.
No.
You can't take it anymore.
That was John
something about the end of the world, and please don't turn me into anything unnatural.
Right, the point is, are you all caught up, or do we need
No.
to go with this?
Don't do it.
Great.
So we think
Evan, the time
Praras
saver.
is the pit fiend.
Thank you.
Not Pit Fiend. Arch.
Archfiend. So you didn't hear that through the door.
Let's also clarify, an archfiend is far worse than a pit fiend.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Depends on the perspective.
It would also explain all the power she has and why she hasn't been killed. It was in history books, in record books that we looked through, there was another group that did come close to defeating her and didn't.
What were they
That were
called?
stronger than
And how
us.
did she
And
have a breath
What
weapon?
were they called?
that's not important.
Wayward 7!
There you go.
They're called the Wayward Seven. They were the group that defeated the Architect, and they almost.
Did you name yourselves after that?
No. We just had 7 people.
Good
And
value.
we were going wayward.
I
Sending us
didn't
loose.
that. Regardless, they did try to defeat Praras and couldn't.
Sorry, I was getting over the whole fanboys of naming yourselves after them. Anyway, yes.
It was because it's the name of the show. Confetti?
So,
yes.
Obviously, like she's a very difficult person to kill. Maybe because she's powerful, but also because she has to be killed on another plane.
What you're saying does not make sense. But I wanted the whole group here because I wanted to discuss the steps that you need to take now.
Well, Herb's doing magic stuff.
Well, if Herb didn't want to come, that's on her. Did you need to go get her?
Nah.
I'll go get her.
You see, they are levitating a goat. You watch as Keysphere does this, and the goat starts to spin.
I've become concerned as to why they have a goat on the ship.
Herb, you're needed. We're planning for the going to hell.
I'll catch up later.
Okay.
I'm concentrating on goat spinning 101.
The goat I see that.
The trick is to catch it before it hits the ground. So make sure to stop it in time before it does so.
In time. Stop it in time.
Best of luck to you both.
Alright, so
You and the goat.
you staying down there practicing with Keysphere?
Oh.
Got it. So, Akers goes back.
Told ya.
I thought you were
He's
going
busy.
to get him.
Understood.
It's getting busy.
So,
Confetti.
yeah.
He had important things to do. Confetti.
You really wanted to be here.
So, as you've all gathered in the room, or at least everybody who wants to be in the room, the next steps. What is your plan? If she is an archfiend, something far more dangerous than Damon or any other pit fiend, what's the plan? Because the way I see it, there's only 2. When we encountered Damon in the Hells, he was significantly weaker. So, we could do it the way you killed Damon, or we could just try to lure her down. But there's no guarantee that she would even go.
Do you think that she's expecting us to go?
I don't know what she's expecting. I don't know what runs slips through her head sometimes.
I get that.
I doubt that she would fall for a trap trying to lure her down. I imagine we would have to do the same thing we did with Damon.
Would she?
We have a group that is staying up here. Odessa. Rigby and
Rigby's in hell.
I don't remember where Rigby went.
We left him there.
Oh. He's binging his kids and stuff. Anyways. Well, but Chastille and Badissa, they're here.
I've lost
What good does it do if we can't discuss a plan with them?
We have us in Dixon.
Kenrick having his little shopping trip in Basilica.
I would
I wonder-
propose if we're we go into the Hells and get Silas and Mentei, and we bring them back to the Prime Room. Gather all of our forces, anyone who will listen, who will help, and ambush Guardia wherever we can, and then,
But we also.
just like we did with Damon, chase her into the Hells and attack when she's weaker.
Is there any chance
But
that
we-
maybe she
Oh, we could actually
regenerates faster though? If she's an arch fiend? I think there's more of a priority towards healing.
Here's the issue with what you just said. You said we'd have to go there and get your friends first. I don't think that's happening.
It can't happen.
I think if we go down there, there is one chance. One flight. There is no guaranteed back, so I would suggest looking for a different way. I do not expect to take the ship home if we go down there.
And
It is
also.
the Hells.
Do have a very powerful sorcerer on our side.
the hell?
Can he plane shift an entire ship?
He did. He plane shifted us from
But not an entire ship.
not entire ship, no. But he's helping us figure that out.
We haven't
A
died.
silver sword could help.
We're going to have to wait to go down to the Hells anyway, because we can't go down there and bring Azoras and Silas back, because Silas is in a soul coin contract, which means he will act against his own will.
Right, so then what do?
We gain more power up here, and then we either defeat her up here, like we did with Damon, or we lure her down to the
But
to the
how are
Hells.
we certain that it's even her that's up here? What if it's just a visage of her once again?
What did the visage look like when you fought it?
It was, icy.
Has she fought you in the flesh before?
Yes.
But
And she
I'm
was-
just saying, the last time we fought her in the flesh, we didn't kill her then.
Well, it seems like you're going to have to do worse.
So,
Which means we need more power.
We have
I'm
more
full
power
What
now.
do we do now?
Look.
I show the hammer.
Yeah. It is a pretty impressive.
He's bad on whining. He's got a pretty dress on and he's
I'm going.
to hell by yourself.
Why would you wish that on me?
I did not wish that on you.
That hurt my
I
feelings.
was asking a question.
Apologize.
I'm
Chris,
holding
I'm
a
sorry.
little red
I was
card
asking
with a
a
red
question.
lotus on it.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Huh?
I got one too.
Oh, I have one too.
I have a one.
No, we only have one.
And that's supposed to be.
No, we all three got
You
one.
each have three. Or you each have one.
That's
Have
a
three.
calling card for Araya.
You
Alright.
said it.
The one I'm thinking of?
Yes.
The very same.
There's also going to the Primeval Coast.
Or a temple. A saloon.
So, you have some ideas, but let's narrow the main two. Yes? Try and lure her down into her citadel, if that is even hers. Perhaps there is another archfiend waiting for you, completely different one, but this is assuming it's hers. Or you have to go assassinate her here.
Well, we'd have to do both.
But any particular reason you look at me when you said assassinate? It's you know what I used to do. Dang it.
Icarus is looking a little
preety. Like
I don't understand.
Which I don't know if you would be
Feathers are a little
open
rough
to
on
as
me.
much, only because, well, you are guilty of said things multiple times over.
Yeah,
That's not a good thing.
I know.
But if I'm correct, this is the first time you will actually be going through with it.
Actually, we're not guilty. We've never stood trial, so.
Yeah. But also did not commit those things.
You also ran from prison twice.
Correct.
No,
That is
It would have been
fair.
only once.
How would we.
Inspiration. I think you already have it. But.
Yeah. How would we possibly lure her into the hells?
That is my question exactly.
I see that as a non-option.
Res me.
She has outplanned and outsmarted us at every step. There's no way that we would lure her somewhere that she didn't want to go or didn't already have a plan for us.
And
So how are we gonna kill her here? We haven't been exactly close to doing that either.
Have you ever tried
Yes.
going out of your way?
We're not going out of
out
our
of our
way.
way,
Praras
but-
just happened to be.
Well, this will be your main focus.
What if we
So
bring
I would
the
hope you-
fight to her?
I mean, the only reason that we.
Yes,
not
Chris.
That's
What
a
if?
wonderful idea.
I'm serious.
That's
So
what
am
she
I.
just
It's
said.
hard to sound serious with his voice, but what if we ambush like a sneak attack?
Hey Chris, she just said that.
No, I agree with them.
We'd have to find where she is to ambush. That would be the only thing. And
That is-
we
yeah.
can't scry on her because she's
Got an
undetectable
amulet,
as well.
I think.
Do we have any of the Atolva blood left?
Do
I
we?
don't have any left.
we
I
do.
think, I think.
I know we
Reuben
can get
has
some.
Or do you have any more? I don't think you do.
I used
Oh.
it to see our fate after them.
I thought we used mine that I took,
No.
and then you
I
kept
think you guys
yours.
both used yours.
We used
Okay.
all of it.
Never
Wait,
mind.
where are we gonna get some?
We can just make one. Keysphere knows how
Go
to
back
do
home.
Well, adventure over.
it. Sorry. not
Wait,
there.
but where's the Natolva at your home?
Not in my home.
Via.
In my country, probably.
Let's. Okay.
Home is
I
where
don't
the
want to
heart
hunt
is.
down a Natolva.
So.
Well, if we go to the primeval coast, I'm sure because there is an area where dragons go to retire. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an Altova there. I'm just saying. I thought it was mythology. I thought it was.
What would we use the Atolva blood? We already know what's bound to happen. We can't see into Praras' future. Can we?
Can't we?
You guys
She's
saw into silences.
she's sure to be attacking Aja.
Well,
There's 4 countries in Kohal. She's controlling Cilicia. She already eliminated Egil and Frost. She just eliminated Arxa.
I think
But
she already
here's-
has an ear in Aja because of Kenzoku.
But here's the thing. The reason that she probably, assassinated Egil to start this whole mess in the first place, to create discourse between countries and to cause chaos. We saw Egil's body. He was like, you saw him down when we were in the River Styx. My father wasn't assassinated. He was traded out into the Vale. We never saw his body.
But what is
So-
Do you think she wants to follow up on her father?
I think that my father's an ancient dragon. He obviously is very powerful. She traded him out for something else in the Vale. Or not she, but whoever else she works for traded him out for something powerful in the Vale.
Or
Why would she go for aside from just completing the set and, killing the final, or getting rid of the final leader of the countries?
Or she's
Why
gonna
isn't she moving towards Beauchamp? If she's gotten all of her bases covered here,
I think she's not done.
you think she's going for Aja even though she has ties with the Emperor?
How long-
Aja or not, I think she's not
How long
done.
do I have left in my lesson?
I mean, he's just gone through lesson plan after lesson plan after lesson plan. You guys have rotated the goat. You have removed the goat from time and brought him back.
Oh my gosh.
This
Poor
goat
goat.
has been through it and seen some stuff. But
Should I keep on learning?
if you're feeling tired, you may go join your friends upstairs.
Did I do a long rest or no?
No.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna take them. Is it classified as a short rest if I just stand still and listen to them?
Upstairs? You can technically take a long rest if you sit there for 4 hours.
I'll start a short rest because that I can at least regain some
Okay,
stuff.
so
He's
let's
hearing
talk
her join the
about.
conversation.
If we,
Assuming
even
that lasts
if
long.
we grant that she's already satisfied with the measure of influence she has in Mizumi, killing Ijil throws Ross into chaos, but Arxa still stands. It's still, even with your father gone, it's not.
Because she wasn't trying to get rid of the country, she was trying to get rid of my father because she was trying to trade out equal value of power.
Well, what if she's
Oh,
gonna
hello,
kill
Herb.
something
Decided to join us, did you?
big
I'm
enough,
also here.
Oh, hi, Kisvia.
big enough to trade out the architect?
It's very
Jargon.
You think that her trade? Hold on, wait. You think that she traded out my father for the architect?
No, but I'm assuming that she's gonna try and kill something big enough to trade out the architect.
Have you been listening?
Like what?
You just walked up.
The biggest person in hell.
The books that I read,
Asmodeus?
Guardia was never sold on the like in the Platinum Hand. She wasn't as like devoted, right? She was kind
No, that
of
was
just
Thras.
there.
I would say
Thras
from the books
did it.
you've read, yeah. Or are you telling us Calisti?
I'd say Ethan is asking, and then Icarus would.
I would say, yeah. I mean, it was very clear that she was a deserter, kind of at a quintessential turning point. Yeah.
So I don't imagine then that she would
Bring
have a
back
focus of
something.
bringing back the architect. She
Not
didn't.
at all.
She didn't care about the architect.
Unless it serves her purpose. But what purpose is
She. It just.
I think the architect served her purpose. He caused the chaos and death she wanted,
But
and
reading in all of the history books, the architect never wanted destruction. He wanted the perfect utopia. It just the death
so he
only
brought
happened.
it. So all the more reason
No,
not to bring him back.
He didn't bring it. She abandoned the war, and that's what caused all of the destruction. He, of course, yes, he did cause it. But
But
if
that
she
wasn't
was
his
there
aim.
with the battle, the flooding of the country probably wouldn't have happened. Does that
Let's
make sense?
look at our. Let's look at what we have to do, and go from there as to how it serves this purpose. So we mentioned the Primeval Coast, the Temple of Saloon, the going what to find Initolva.
That's only if we want to see Atolva blood, but the Primeval Coast.
That's not necessary if there's some other way that we can predict what her move will be.
Right. But how?
Well, I think right now, if she's trying to branch out and get power over every single spot and kind of get more forces, if you know what I'm saying, then why aren't we doing the same?
Because we're.
Fair point.
I mean, but have you seen how hard it has been for us to get help in the past? I mean, we've had to beg people
speaker
to
was doing
listen
that
to
earlier.
us because
Make sure it's plugged in.
they don't believe us. They don't believe. We will have to plead our case in every aspect, hoping we don't get to go to jail after. I mean,
I
we
think we ain't
haven't.
no big
We
boy
have
jail.
allies. It's just.
We need allies in every single spot.
I
We
mean,
got a couple buddies.
We do. I mean, we have. You do. I mean,
We have allies that are willing to do jobs for us in every single spot. So we don't have to travel across the country every single time that we need something. And
We don't have as much as she has.
I get
obviously.
that.
She's
I
also-
agree that we need to get together as strong of a
Right.
force as we can, especially if we're planning to strike Guardvia first in a surprise, but there's gathering forces does nothing for us if we can't tell where
Convince
she's
them.
going to be.
not just that, but if they think that we're at the head of this and not her, that's going to. I mean, they already do. They
I would
already
like
do
to
think.
add something as well. You know Guardvia. Let's assume, still assuming, that she is the one responsible for a third of the army that you all saw. Kenzoku is more than likely the other culprit. You take out those two, you still have a problem.
We don't know who the third is. We don't even know what their motive is. Because it seems...
You don't know what totem pole ranking there are. I can't imagine anything being above an archfiend, but regardless, you're still left with a problem.
We need more information. But I came to you with this to show that we did have the information. I just had to piece it together for you.
I think taking out Guardvia should take a priority.
I think so too.
I think taking out Guardvia and then Kenzoku, take out the nose, get rid of them somehow. Perhaps in that process you can find out.
Get rid of the pillars and the rest will fall.
That's what I hope.
That's what's been happening with the leaders.
Right.
They're just...
Well, how do we do that?
We just have to predict where
Roll
she'll
call
be, and then
everybody.
we can tell where Guardvia will be. Because she has always done the most tactically advantageous thing. So, if for the first time in our lives we can figure out the smartest thing to do.
You're talking to the wrong group, pal.
Question. Did...
Spoken like a true war vet.
Who is...
I just follow the orders.
Who's Natsuki talking to before she was flipped into
Kimon.
Kirani?
the key mind?
I saw her talking
Oh,
to him.
you did. Yeah, I would say, you remember Natsuki talking to a very large monk, kind of dark skin, white hair, a blindfold.
She said his name, didn't she?
Yeah, she
She
did.
did say his name. His name was Josard.
Sorry.
And we read about him.
We did, didn't
We read about
Did
him.
you?
Was
Yes.
he was one of the,
Well, it wasn't him specific, but it was his name. Like, it could have been a different
Jokimi?
Josard, but...
Could have been. Could have been.
Wasn't that the last name?
that was his last name.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the last name that was
Jokimi?
written. I think it was just Josard that was written.
That's all that she wrote.
But wasn't his name also in history books?
I would say, from what you guys remember, it was written as Josard the Iron Will. But he was reported missing. Also a
Wait,
deserter.
where did we spot? Like, where was Nat when she was talking to him?
In a temple, right? Or it was like...
Yeah, what
she
was
was like
that?
She was like training or something, right?
No, she was talking to him because she was getting Silas's. She was trying to get more information on where Silas
Oh, yeah.
was.
She was talking
and-
because he knew Silas.
But what temple?
It was somewhere north. Top right.
The Temple of the Waves in Arxon.
Maybe he has some information.
I mean, okay, so the rightful divine was the architect's cult. The platinum hand was his 5 saints. And the 5 saints listed was Thras, the devoted, Praras, no, I want to say the bitch, but she's not.
Yes, she is.
She is,
That's not the
No.
name.
not
No.
the title. It
Yeah.
was,
It's a title.
Something like that.
no, she did have a title. It was, I don't have the titles written down,
Praras
at least
the
on the
Cruel.
sheet.
Keep in mind.
Paris the Cruel. And then it was Vasha,
We're gonna make a new name.
the, something. Can't remember.
The white, Vasha the White.
Vasha, because she was a white dragon.
We don't know that.
You read it. She read
It would be
Okay,
read
she
that
was
she
a
was a
white
dragon.
She was a
Yeah.
But we don't know that.
But we don't know that.
Chris doesn't know that.
And then it was
I don't know it.
I did.
Oravirus, he was the necromancer. It was,
I don't
this
know
is
that
my
one.
theory page. I don't have their titles written on my theory page, guys. The Immortal.
It's the immortal.
Thanks. Thank you, Chris.
But-
And then it was Josard of the Iron Wake. So,
Iron Will.
Iron Will. Iron Wake was something else.
Yep.
I get my titles mixed
I
up.
love.
There's a lot of titles, and I mix them all up, guys. So, if
There's
Josard...
118 titles.
A lot of titles.
If this Josard of the Platinum Hand is the same Josard that Natsuki was talking to...
So you're going to go question him?
I mean, that seems like our best
Where's-
lead so far.
Where's the temple?
In Arxon.
It's our
We're in Arxon.
No, we're not.
So,
Where?
Oh, I thought you said
We're
weird.
in our
Well, no, we're not. We're on Silly Goose Island.
We're there.
No, that's
Confetti.
also not.
That's where it is.
Yes, it
It's
is.
the
You know, no, it's in the mountains that look like waves. It's the temple of waves.
I know where we are.
Ah.
I mean, not too far from the primeval coast. Maybe we could do 2 of those things. But what would we hope to gain from Jassard?
Information about prayers.
Insight on Praras.
Because if he worked hand in hand with her, he probably knows exactly how she works.
in all fairness, I worked with Praras for some time, and she kept it quite secretive.
But
What
in
about?
this, in
Sounds
this,
as if the Platinum Hand was
they
a bit
had-
more nefarious.
I was going to say they had similar goals.
What about the others on the hand? Say the Thras one. Where is he?
Where is Thras?
Reported as missing or reported as dead?
Missing.
Missing. Well, I mean, which one would you rather track down? The one where we know, like,
Oh no, Thras is dead. Yeah, custody is reported.
okay, this is the
Taken
only
care of, I think, is the proper term.
Taking care.
Praras
I bet
and
that is what he wrote.
Praras and Jassard are the only 2 who aren't dead on this list. Can't exactly talk to Praras.
Speak for yourself.
Pulls out company phone. No, I'm kidding. You use the company
I
phone.
did that once. I did that once.
You did do that once.
Oh.
People have done that.
It was a bad decision. Very bad decision.
Anyway,
I had 25 words. I
Sounds
used
like one that I would make.
so
So options are as we go to the Temple of the Waves and we talk to Jassard, gain information, gain insight. Other option is go to the Primeval Coast and gain information and gain insight in a different aspect, gain strength for you there. And hopefully I can get in contact with Deviri and maybe get in contact with
Chris back
Ares.
in.
I know I'm technically not supposed to be in my home country, but
Road
They
trip.
At
let
this
you
point,
in
we're not
last
supposed to
time.
be in any country.
yes, we're not supposed to. Yeah, yes, but
I get it.
it's more people who
We're
could
at least
gain.
still alive.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least if you came back, it would be like really cool. And everybody
Well-
would be like, wow, she came back from the dead. Except you're being hunted. Yeah, okay.
That's still.
Respect.
It is a move that should be planned carefully.
Oh, well, yeah. Obviously.
We don't do that here.
But if we go out,
Great.
it's all of a sudden, ah, God, murderers!
Awesome.
We only have one chance to get that
Confetti.
surprise. And for as long as we have any kind of advantage over Guardvia as far as information and surprising her, we should use that very carefully.
Yeah.
I think that we are engaged in a war of information with Guardvia, and to this point she has had all of it. If we can go north and hit 1 or 2 spots to gain insight and information, I think we should.
Or
Okay.
allies.
Both are useful.
It's just going to be much more difficult to get allies than information.
That is what we need.
I know.
We can't have less than 7
We have more than 7.
core members.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keys for 6. I've got a little demon for 7.
That doesn't
We're good.
count.
But where is he?
Oh,
You want me
yeah,
to summon him?
where is
Is he
he?
in the
You want me to bring him out?
You do whatever you want. He's gonna
Did have, but does have, but that she got left in the country.
We have allies. We just need, I think right now, what's more important than allies is information.
There is a chance, too, if we do go to Arxal, we might be able to get Badissa back.
That's true.
Yeah, she's still
God.
Probably not Castiel, though. I'm sure he died in battle.
R.I.P. Cassidy.
so heroically.
And
Hero.
That episode probably came out.
my
The audience does.
Nestani,
Don't you know?
Nestani would have the knowledge that her, like, family's army helped with the War of Ascension, correct?
Herbs?
Or the final battle of Ascension.
Oh, you
Herb, did your family help?
Herb, did your family help out with that?
All the shrubs.
That's
in
what
the
I thought you
distance.
said.
No, this
I heard
is
her
Sleeper
too.
agent.
Hers.
Hers.
her.
Affirmation word.
Would she have knowledge that they did help out with that?
I would say she knows a little about it. Yeah.
I
What
mean,
about Wiggum?
No. He was not there at the War of
If we
Ascension.
No, I meant to get an ally.
We-
If we
I think
call-
that's a very viable thing if you're going to go get an
That's
ally.
what I'm
What about the
saying.
entire Wild Wander family?
Yes!
We have an army.
And Valora.
Swamp Witch.
No.
Well, we have notified.
And Mr. Elder Dragon.
Yes.
May I add something about the ally gathering? If you're sure Praras is going to be the final stop on this totem pole, absolutely.
But she's not.
Otherwise, you're bringing in a lot of people to join you in your social standing.
And we're not asking people to come in and join us with helping this.
Why not?
Because it's not pleasant.
And it's
We just
it's not a
gotta-
burden that most people can or should carry.
It's not.
Someone's gotta.
We
And
go
it's
to
us.
That's us.
Just be sure it's the time to call them, because most people are only willing to do something stupid once.
We only got one
We
shot.
go to
What are you
Arxon.
thinking of
Not
me?
Come
It's
to
a miracle
Olive
that
Arch.
she's even listening to us now when we already made her do something stupid once.
Yeah.
This
So-
opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo.
He's got spaghetti on his ship.
Yeah. Crazy enough, Icarus goes straight to hell.
A portal opens
Guys,
up
I'm
underneath.
here! Guys, you can't seem to find him once you get there.
Yeah, that's crazy. How did you get further than 6? Anyway.
He's actually in the veil.
Disappears.
Okay,
I-
so are we going to Oxa? Are we going to the Primeval Coast? Are we going to Hell?
Well, both
Where
of
are we
those.
going?
You just named two
All
the
of the
same.
above.
Okay, well, are we going to the Temple of the Waves or
I think we should.
the Primeval Coast?
Let's do a vote.
I think I should
Like
reach out to Deviri and gain permission to go into Arxar first. That might be nice.
I mean, you had.
We were
permission
also
before.
told by Kinhead that talking to Deviri about the Primeval Coast and what else did she say? What else did he say? I should say.
Wherever do you eat at? I'm trying to go.
I mean, he just, suggested it'd be a good idea to talk to Deviri.
I
So-
think if we can get a message out and ideally meet up with both Deviri and Badissa at the temple, then we can talk there and potentially from there go to the Primeval Coast and gain some more information. What would you be able to do while we're
Okay,
doing
well,
that? Can
we
you
should tell
continue
Kinhat
to
this,
gather
correct?
crew?
Well, we only have one company call.
Well, fine. We call. Oh,
Davy.
well, he could send sending.
What? He could have sent sending the whole time instead of using a company phone? I wanted to use the company phone yesterday.
I also use the company
It's
phone.
it's open. It's not been used yet.
It's recharged.
No, it's not, and we're still
Yeah.
in the middle of a long rest. It hasn't recharged yet.
What's
Anyway,
But it has. We marked off all our reps.
No, I didn't tell you Mark off.
Okay, well, I didn't mark it off. I didn't, I swear.
Lies.
That's
Buffalo.
okay.
I didn't mark it up, but that's because I didn't take damage last time.
But we didn't use it the day before.
Yes, we did. You used it to call Calisti.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I also used it.
That's
I forgot about that. But he gets it sending.
what. Anyways, so
What is this about? I don't get it.
Let it pass.
I was going to make a point and then it left my head. So we'll need to. I would like to get in contact with Deviri, but
Me too.
we want to go to the Temple of Wait.
Temple of Lakes.
No,
Waves.
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 We're going to
Lakes is actually a
Michigan.
very different place.
We're going to
We actually
Michigan.
go there.
Don't ask about it.
It's of the lake deity.
Yeah.
The pond.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry, that's on my other map. Hang on.
So,
Actually, it is. It is.
It is.
yes.
May I see it?
May I
No.
see?
May we look?
May I look? May
So,
May we go there?
Yeah.
your plan is to go back to Arxa?
Yes. I mean,
Unless you have a different one.
Well, here's what I was going to say. If you're going to Arxa and have a time estimate, I can set sail for Basilica. That's where Praras is based.
okay.
Based.
Yes.
Hopefully, I can gather some information. But I shouldn't need to tell you, but I will speak it aloud to put the idea in the room. She is typically heavily guarded,
Yes.
typically revered,
Yes.
typically seen as a good person in the eyes of the public.
Which is why she's gotten away with so much.
Yes. So, going through with this will put the biggest target on your back known to mankind.
There already is a target there.
I know, I'm just saying because you'll actually be doing it.
Yes.
Even more.
Well,
And we publicly televise
Not.
I think
this
we can
time.
avoid that part.
I'm down.
That's an It's an optional.
And people can bet.
You do know it's optional, right?
Fantasy
Are
football league.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we their fantasy football league?
Herb versus Garvia, not great. Wynn versus Garvia, also not great. Don't make the
Anyone
roster.
versus the odds are
Chris
really
versus
not in any of
Garvia?
their favor.
Wild Wander versus Garvia? What?
Automaton versus Garvia?
Depending on which one.
Yeah.
Like,
Wiggum the Fun Size versus Garvia.
Wilfred, Mike.
Wilfred might be able to.
Might be.
But in the morning, I can get in contact with Javiri. We can gain access, or gain permission to go to Oxar and gain more information there.
Weren't we pardoned for the
Yeah,
community
that's what I was gonna
service?
say. We were.
We were part,
Yeah. At the.
but then I was told I was like gonna be like a
You won't be accepted until you come back with, your heroic.
You got a pardon from like trespassing the first time.
Right.
First offense. But I mean,
Now we're
there's
gonna go into
offenses
double
right
jeopardy.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. How do they know
Double
we
it,
even
pass
left?
it on to the next person.
What is crime?
Because we teleported away on the ship. They
They
knew
don't
we were
know
on the
that?
ship. Yes, they saw
They
us
knew
launch
we were on the
ourselves
ship,
onto
saw
the
us.
ship, and then
What
the
if
ship
we missed the
disappeared.
ship? We landed and did a tug
As
and
she
roll.
says, they don't know that. Confetti.
I don't know.
We did a tuck and roll. We landed on the ground, knocked out, and we just woke up in the Temple of the Waves.
I fell in the room with confetti.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
They
you're-
don't have a
you're
zone of
covered in streamers.
But, I mean, I'll talk to Daviri, and at the very least, I know you'd mentioned that you and your crew are pretty much alone, not having the help that you thought you might have from Nezumi and from the Emperor. I'll talk to Daviri and fill her in on what needs to be known, and then maybe at the very least, you'll have another army in your corner.
It's definitely worth reaching out.
You planned to take the ship to the cliffs north of Termid?
I think that there should be a spot we can hide within the kind of shadowed coast.
I know the place.
Alternatively, you can come with me on reconnaissance. But if you
I'd
think
love
splitting
to.
our efforts is more valuable, then
Are you going to be...
Chris,
What's your path that you'll be taking?
we will be heading out of the southern end of this island, and I plan to pass through the Druid Isles completely by water. Silesia has, or I presume, a large blockade to help, quote-unquote help, facilitate anything like that. The current tensions between Ross and everything else. So hopefully going through the Druid Isles you can avoid the blockade. Or I have to get the ship isn't necessarily important to get to Basilica. But it's good to have on hand.
If you're passing close enough to Cot, we can get to Oxar from there. If we gain permission from Daviri.
I'll get close to Comet for sure.
Okay. Here's our plan then. We sleep. Not now. And in the morning, I will call Daviri and
Gwen's painting his eyelids to make it look like his eyes are open.
I will contact Daviri and see if we can gain permission to travel to Oxar and gain information there, gain wisdom there, and hopefully we can talk to Josard if it is the same Josard.
Alright.
We're splitting up.
No.
Well, she's splitting off from us.
We should split up.
We can contact you once we've figured out what our next move is, or when we've gotten more information for you.
Alright.
Once we know what
Keysvia, where are you splitting paths?
Well, I was going to split when opportunity arose. I was going to teleport myself to the Grand Wilds to look for a Soto. That being said, if you need help teleporting, I suppose I could lend my capabilities.
I was gonna say, I mean, could you not just transport us like outside of the Grand Wilds and we'll be right there next to Rockenfall?
You'll be on the other side of the plateau. As far as I know, the only way to get through the plateau without dying is through the bulwark. And typically that is used to kill.
It's easier just to go to Cart.
Right. I don't know where Cot is.
Even going through Cot, that would take us to Ralkenfar. We'd have a long way to go to the temple.
Right.
I'm quite assured of my teleportation skills if you just want me to eyeball it, though.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's not do that now.
First
I mean,
case,
I
like-
was just thinking of what could help you and us, maybe.
I think that if you're going to the Primeval Coast, I could take you there. I am familiar with the territory quite well. I will likely travel through that path, through the Grand Wilds. One person is not so hard compared to 6.
Soon to be 7.
Right.
We're about to get Bedissa.
Oh.
So if you wanted to go to the Primeval Coast, I could send you there
Did
now.
not know that.
I did know that.
I mean, it's up to the group. I don't know if it's less resources, Calisti, or...
That's up to you. If you want to go to the Primeval Coast now, go for it.
I just don't know how
My
we're going to
mission
get from...
personally is to go to Basilica to try and squeeze out as much information on Praras as I can.
Right.
If you were to split up, say head south down the Primeval Coast, go to the Temple of Waves, meet up with your friends, allies, whatever be it, go to Kilanatova to see the future, I imagine all of this will help.
My question now
especially the future bit.
how do we go from Cot to the temple?
Teleport circle.
Oh.
I will just take you to
Hold hands.
I can take you to the Primeval Coast immediately. There's a spot.
Right. I was not with you guys when you went to Cot.
Sure.
So
You were.
I was not.
You joined
Right
after
after.
the desert.
I was in Hamar.
Can I pull a goat on Evan?
So I didn't know that.
I don't think we want to go.
How does one pull a goat?
Either
Like
way.
how
I
do
don't
I
think
get
we
to
want to
the
go
goat to
straight
him?
to the
Oh.
Primeval Coast.
March
No.
off your. You better make a wisdom save.
Need
Me?
to make a wisdom save.
Me?
You're using your stasis on him.
Yeah, I'll try.
Go for it.
I get sent 30 years back. I age.
Yeah.
I get the Azoras.
Yeah.
You have to make a Constitution save.
Oh, let's go. Wait, can I purposely fail?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, I'll do it.
Purposely fail.
Yeah.
And you just watch as he sits there, motionless, for 6 seconds
I always got motion.
until the start of your next turn, or the end of your next turn, or their next turn. One or the other.
Yeah, until the end of the next turn.
A bug flies in my mouth.
Yep.
A single tear flows down.
Yep. And no time passes for you, Chris. Weird. But now there's a bug in your mouth. So, like I said, if you want me to take you there now, I can do this now.
That's fire.
I think we will still have to wait till we can get in contact with Tiberi, and honestly, I think I would like to see.
I still.
If I got what? You can speak up, Gwen. We're in the zone of truth, you know.
I know. I mean, what I was saying. What I was saying is not untruthful.
What were you saying there? If it wasn't.
I was saying if we were already in here, this would have gone by a lot faster, and we could have all been
Well, it's not
here.
like you listened to me anyway, so that's why I wanted to talk to somebody privately.
There is something.
We listened to you. When have I gone against what you've said?
You wouldn't remember.
No, but in the time that we have been working together, and I know, when have I gone against what you've said? I have followed you loyally. I could have gone home. That's not true! I have followed
every single one of these people loyally.
Not me.
Not you. Wait, you. Okay. These two I have followed very loyally.
I'm more of a follower.
Exactly.
I
Me
digress.
too. That's why I don't understand where this is coming from.
I thought it might be more effective if I spoke alone.
Because you don't think we're well spoken.
Last time I said I was the leader, everyone.
I did not say that. All I said is I thought it might be more effective.
But it would have been nice for us to know this information as well.
Right. Well, regardless of what emotions are and what people think, I think you should probably all drop it. You have bigger things to do.
Yes.
Maybe you can all duke it out afterwards. But right now,
This is
Go
what me
sleep.
and Herbert Colonel do.
think about it. Let me know if you'll be joining me on the voyage, otherwise I will be leaving tonight.
As
You'll
in,
need
like,
to
it's
stay.
dawn now, tonight, is it later?
It's about noon.
Oh, it's what do you mean it's noon?
So we just go to sleep for 8 hours and then we'll be gone.
You can either stick with me till we get to the coast, or you can teleport away.
Are there any like comfy like places in like this little office?
No.
We were
Keys.
I was asking Will.
Yeah, she says no.
Keyspear, are you able to take us to Laval?
Keysphere, thinking about Laval. When I said I could take you to the coast, I meant the literal water. And
Like, in the water?
around there is a small shack that I used to frequent when I was looking for things and places and people.
Right, people to turn into a Tolva.
Research purposes.
I look for confetti.
There's none. There's no lie.
We already
really
knew
no
we did
mission
that.
either.
What is it confetti?
What the
Guys.
Why are we celebrating?
I do think it's
People,
important
please.
for us to go to the
You do it
temple
once.
and also to
Wayward
talk
five.
with Deviri and Dressard before going to the coast.
Agreed.
To that end, I think we should be staying with Calisti through tonight and take the exit through Cot.
That's, yeah.
So all that is to say, thanks Keysphere, but we won't be taking that route.
Fine by me. It's a longer walk.
Alright. I guess we're settled for now, right?
Yes.
Alright.
I'll go back out, and then
Back in the hammock.
Yep.
Alright. So
making sure all my stuff's good.
Can I read
Nothing's
again?
stolen.
sure if you want to. Before you all leave though, if Praras saw you all here, she will certainly see you soon. She has eyes on you somehow. I'm not leaving this office. Go rest up. You're all invited to leave.
I
Get out.
Please get out.
Nobody knows what I'm going to get out.
So, you all go back, taking a rest.
Yeah.
I kind of wait. I linger just
Okay.
a moment.
Sure.
Thank you for at least hearing me out.
Well, it was the most information we've had in a minute. You had some good points. It doesn't mean I completely believe you, but it does mean that I'm going to push and press this further.
These conversations were very different with Lauren than it was Reagan.
I
No confetti, crazy.
Guys.
It's fine.
It's fine, it's fine,
Telling
it's
the truth.
I had just hoped I could give more insight and more help.
Be better.
No, guys, I'm trying to.
No confetti.
Guys.
He's really making an effort right here.
Yeah, he's trying.
I appreciate it.
He can float goats.
We have somewhere to go.
Yes.
We have an idea of what to do. That is the most we've had in a while.
I just didn't want you to think that we were only trying to get your help because we had friends to save. I just wanted you to know that there was further motive.
Well, good, because your original motive was not good.
As much as I appreciate the idealism that you have, or the group shares,
Is Silas not your friend too? Would you not have wanted to go down there to save him?
We're gonna convince him otherwise now.
Ooh, in a zone of truth.
no, there's confetti.
Cute.
You do know him. So he's not your friend.
No.
He's more.
No.
What? She's lying about not being friends. That means that he is.
I'm
her
aware.
friend.
She's pushing for a reason, Ethan.
Oh.
Do you have a purpose with this, or are you just
No, I
was
going
just
to
curious.
fill the room with confetti?
No.
I was just curious.
Everyone leaves the room. It's just confetti everywhere.
What?
What is? It's just weird. What is your relationship with Silas? How do you know? How do you know him?
Make a persuasion check.
Don't lie.
I'm
So
not.
I know.
So you're talking to me. I'm like, how can I lie with a persuasion check, guys?
I roll a deception check. A really good one.
You said persuasion. 24. I have really good persuasion, guys.
No.
What do you want to know?
Call it a curious find. I also.
Is there confetti?
No.
Okay.
She's telling the truth.
Call it that.
Yeah,
It wasn't actually saying anything.
Silas. He's my friend too.
Yeah.
And he was one of the. He was one of the first people to look at me and treat me as a person instead of just.
If you must know, I met him in the bulwark while I was serving under the warden there. He was talkative, and there wasn't much conversation. And then I watched them cut his ears off, and I had sympathy.
I'm sorry.
Beyond that, I don't think you have any right to.
You're right, I don't.
But I knew him. I thought I knew him. And when he was free, things did not pan out the way that I was hoping.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Go rest. And please leave me. So,
Glitter everything.
covered, yeah. Nestani covered in confetti.
I'm more
That was good
shiny
talk.
than I always am. I'm the vampire now.
All the parents just see us walk out with a bunch of confetti everywhere.
It's a crazy party in that room.
Alex
Oh,
stops
John
and
John
shake
doesn't
off
throw
like a
a
dog.
party.
Literally gets in my eyes. Ah!
Here's preens for the next 2 hours.
Oh, but I also have to read.
Yep. So, reading, intelligence check.
There's glitter on the book.
Natural 20.
Mark off 2.
I'll take that. Let's go.
Good baby.
Yeah,
baby.
baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, baby.
Hi, Miss Rigby.
Poor Rigby.
Or was no, that was
Groovy.
Salmonella.
Salmonella.
Groovy, baby.
Yeah,
Regardless if
baby.
they're all in hell, I can't remember. Anyway.
I
So,
can't keep them straight.
with that being said, you guys can mark off a long rest if you want to.
If I want.
Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you want to just stay
I don't want
and, you know.
Just run circles while
Yeah.
everyone's sleeping.
You can chase your tail for like an hour, Chris, if you want.
I sleepwalk.
You bump into the wall. Chris falls overboard.
I'm one with the sea.
Lightning hammer does not work well in the sea.
Weighs me down.
So, you all mark off a long rest. I would say eventually Sasha kind of approaches the group. We're about to disembark. Are you all staying on?
Yes, staying on.
Disembark.
Herb's in a full cloak and mask, like a tiny key sphere.
Ah. He's made of wood.
It's an inside joke.
You had to be there
Alright.
when he died.
Alright, anyway.
We're leaving. Either get off the ship now or head out.
Woo!
So, what you guys doing?
Get on the
We're
boat.
staying on the
Staying
boat.
on.
Staying on the ship? Alright.
Not on ship.
Are you guys doing anything or just sitting? on
I'm
the-
reading
Pull
my
up,
book.
I'll whip up the prism.
Okay, what about the prison?
Or
I
actually,
wanna-
you're in the flesh, so I
Yeah,
use
he's just like
In the
Right.
flesh.
I want to ask Sasha if there's a poisoner's kit on board that I could get.
you'd have to ask John.
I'll ask John.
Above deck. You see that as you go above deck, you see that they have raised what appears to be an artificial sail. Not really serving too much of a purpose other than to look like it is a boat with a sail. And John is kind of just looking at his handiwork as he has obviously recently done something. There is glitter along the mast. You approach him. You're quite a small bird, man.
Yes.
He walks away.
Mr. John, sir.
We?
I had asked Sasha. She's told me you might know if there was any poisoner's kit that I could obtain on the ship.
I suppose these vials once belonged to a poisoner's kit. They are now filled with glitter.
I was gonna say glitter.
Although I do suppose we could. Oh, we're leaving the Gulf. There's a whole shop there for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I figured.
Just go fly over there.
How fast is the ship going?
I mean, it's kind of just waiting its way out.
How fast are you?
I can be pretty fast.
If you think you can catch up with the ship,
I don't know how fast the ship goes. I'll let it be.
either just John.
I'm gonna go back below decks and just read my book.
Okay. So, as you all go beneath deck to read, to hang out, anybody doing anything else?
I'm reading Moonshadow.
Okay.
I'm with.
Keysphere?
I had a question.
Yeah.
A little bit of a question, anyways. So, like, my feat that I'm working for,
Mhm.
there's not really a way that I could train for it, right?
You could train it in combat if you were to start a fight with maybe one of your friends.
Can I do mine by starting a fight?
If you want to start a fight on Callisti's ship, go for it.
I can ambush my friends.
Yeah, you could. You could
Fight
stab
one of
Gwen in
us.
the neck right now, and she'd be as mad as she looks.
Maybe you should shoot an arrow through. Oh wait, you already.
And then I would urge you to run away so I could get an opportunity attack. Because that's what I need.
Joke's on you. I don't provoke those.
Okay, then stab me in the neck, and I'm going to slam you to the ground.
All right. So,
Sounds like we need a duel.
I commence the duel. I see how it
You
is.
won't get it.
okay. You guys are all sitting in hammocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just yelled that.
Icarus versus Gwendolyn.
That's
I
not
look
my
up from my
name.
book. I look back to my book.
There you go.
He thought about it.
Yeah. True.
I do.
With whoever Gwendolyn
confetti.
is, that's not my name.
Gwendolyn.
I'm hiding in a corner just reading my book.
All right. So,
Nestani, wanna go?
Gwen's playing the liar.
somebody roll me a d8.
Me?
Did you say D100?
You say Gwendolyn's a liar?
3.
No, she's.
8.
Yes, Gwendolyn,
Eight.
whoever that is.
You already rolled it? Go, go.
4. Oh.
Quick to the draw, 8. Which dice was it?
Instant evaporation of blood.
So, as the ship sets sail, you see the large moon above.
Hey, what's the moon look like?
Does it look like Moonshadow?
Full moon.
It does look kind of full.
Oh no.
Wait, is it waning or waxing? Is it almost full? Is it a gibbous moon?
Make a survival check.
Can I see?
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
check
I
this.
wanna-
Let me
I
check
want to
this.
make
Here
a
we go.
survival check.
Yeah.
Let's all do it.
That may as well happen.
That's not good for Chris.
14.
14.
6.
17.
Oh, that's not bad. 21.
21.
6.
11.
Alright. So, I would say Herb Gwen. It's full.
That's not
quite
good.
full.
Sister, can we reverse the time so where it's not?
Hey, so your ghost
Just reverse
thing,
the
does
time
it
of
work
the
on the moon?
Honestly,
It's an important lesson, Hope. There's no going back. Ever.
We should.
Kind of metal.
We didn't tell
Calisti.
Calisti about the full moon stuff, did we?
I think we did the first time.
Did we?
Callisti was there for one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's below deck. As the moon grows full.
That's perfect.
Who has a green amulet?
Me.
I don't.
Didn't I have an amulet?
Everyone
do?
had.
Reagan, which one was mine? Was mine green?
No, it's red.
Okay.
Herb?
Oh wait, a green. Oh yeah, that's right. Mine's red.
Herb is the
I'm
only
so
one
sorry.
green
I'm
one.
colorblind. I'm sorry.
I hate it.
You vanish. As the rest of you all look about. The crew is stood still. John is mid throwing glitter.
I'm still too.
Yeah.
No. It's you and me, buddy.
And me. Oh no, not me.
Wait,
I don't
you
have
have
one.
red, I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, it's you too.
Yeah. So green means that he gets teleported away. Red means that we can move.
Oh,
Throughout
sick.
time.
And
Nothing means they're frozen.
Herb, as you are teleported, the sole person teleported the room. The ski sphere does not have their amulet anymore. You see the room for the first time. 8 chairs, neatly set aside along the edges of this circular chamber. At the center, a large kind of pool of water with an orb that just kind of floats above, viewing where you just were. You recognize very similar properties to that of the scrying eye. But as you begin to look about, you notice there's somebody else in the room with you. The opposite side. A cloaked figure. A familiar mask. Well, what do we have here? I was hoping one of you would show up. As you recognize the golden figure. And that's where we're going to end tonight's game.
That's wild.
Cut it there. So we're going to pick up there next time. We'll see what happens as perhaps a new or maybe a very familiar player joins the board.
And I still didn't get to use the company phone.
Still didn't get to use the company phone. Much to do next time.
Damn it.
Much to do.
But before that, make sure you subscribe to our channel at the Wayward 7, obviously, and you hit that like button.
And if you know a news reporter, give him a hug.
And if you have social media, follow us on it at the Wayward 7.
Or if you don't have it, make some.
Do it right now.
Do it.
We're gonna
Just
wait.
right
Do
Right
it.
now.
And if we are the only account that you're following, you win a special prize.
You get a hug, personally.
Yeah, but only if
We'll
you're a
find
news
you.
reporter.
So
If
tell
you're
you
a
what,
news reporter who we are the only people you're following, you get a hug.
And so for all of our news reporters, why don't you guys give the special news report outro? All right, there it is.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
A
Thank
lot's
you.
happened. The party has learned much about the true identity of Praras Guardian.
Chris remembers nothing.
They've made their plans and now they're have to lie in it. Wait, no. They've opened a can of worms to lie about. No, they can't lie because of confetti.
Chris feels pretty with such confetti.
All this and more next time
on The Wayward
7. Good night, everybody.
Under the full moon we stand. Time slips away like rain so sad. In the path of the falling sun, our endless race has just begun. Steps on the pavement, shadows chase me down. Awkward racing in this sleepless town. Minutes turned to hours, can't escape the grind. Running through the maze in the back of my mind. Hands and feet are moving, but I'm standing still. Climbing uphill against my will. Seconds slipping by like sand through glass. Caught between the future and the past. The fallen sun, our endless race has just begun.